Hey guys, it's Jeremy here at the Ontario Regiment RCAC Museum in Oshawa, and I'm here all alone, other than Mike from MCW Media, keeping socially distant away so that we could bring you this video. Just want to let you know what's really going on here at the museum, sort of the state that we're in because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You guys have been great and have been following and watching all of our winter project videos. We have so many of those recorded, and you're going to continue to see those coming out so you can get more updated on our projects. But literally, here in Ontario, we are in a lockdown, stay-at-home order. And so literally people had to drop their tools and leave one day. And throughout the museum, it's a bit eerie, it's dark, there's usually only one person here on site all the time for security. Today that's me. So I thought we'd bring you this little video just kind of showing you the dark, eerie quiet of our tank museum right now. Here you can see the M8 Greyhound project. We're replacing all of the brake cylinders, and they had just got all the tires off and got the brakes off. The parts just arrived, and we went into lockdown. So the team has it up here on stands, and we're waiting to get back to this as soon as the lockdown ends. You would never really see our museum in this kind of state with parts all over the place. Unfortunately, it looks like there's tripping hazards. First, we were closed to the public. So we continued on with our restorations. We kind of, spread our wings a little bit, gave ourselves some elbow room to really get into some deep projects. And 3 weeks later, we were put into a stay-at-home order and completely shut down. So you're seeing the museum in a way that you'd never see it. Tools are dropped literally where they were when they were working, when the workers had to leave and go home. Parts are lying everywhere. And we have about 8 major restoration and maintenance projects on the go that we just cannot wait to get back to. Oil change on the M3, on hold. Got the engine armor off the Odd 810 Hanamag. You'll see a video soon. We just pulled the engine. We have a major engine rework to do on this vehicle. The day after the engine was pulled, we went into lockdown. BV202, lots of videos coming out on this, on the restoration. It's actually been ongoing for some time. You'll see that series coming out. The half-track project. It doesn't look like much. Literally, it is a rescue, sort of a boneyard piece. The team was disassembling it and working individually on its components. And now here it sits. Our Centurion Mark V/2 project. As you guys know, there was a lot of excitement during the summer months. We got it running. Just a final interior restoration, and we actually got the turret working. We even have the early stabilization system working. So they were just putting the finishing touches on that and finishing the interior of the vehicle. You can see the manual stacked here and the tools stacked here, and they just had to put it aside for a bit. The vehicle's just packed in here. Battle tank row for extra space so we could spread out in other parts of the museum for some restoration projects. You would never see the museum like this. Our T-3485, we're in the middle of doing the brake adjustment video series. Here you can see the rear is still open. Some of the components, we are lucky, some of our members have home shops and workshops, and they are at home safe working on some of their components of their projects and their vehicles. This is one example. So we can't wait to get this back up and running for tank season 2021. Just a place that's usually such a hive of activity any day of the week. It's just so eerie to be here all by yourself. Here we have our two M113 projects. This is actually being upgraded. This M113A2 is being upgraded to a Canadian T-Lab variant with a SUSI track and brought to a standard that would have been used in the early campaign in Afghanistan. And then an M113A2 that's being restored as an American ACAV. You can see the parts racks are here. Really behind the scenes stuff right in the middle of our museum because this is not how it would be if you were visiting the museum at any time. The vehicles are torn open, tools are about, and the parts racks are beside each vehicle. Now let's come and look at some of the major projects. You're going to see videos on this, but the engine pulls. Just before the shutdown, two of the major projects were the Leopard C1 pack pull. You'll see that video shortly. Here's the pack lying beside the tank. Needs some minor work. It's mostly checking for some leaks and just giving the engine a complete once-over. We're going to hook it up to the external testing system with all of its umbilicals, run the engine here before putting it back in the tank. And right behind that, we have our M4 Sherman Bart. It's getting a complete engine bay restoration. The engines are pulled out. The two engines have been disconnected. They're going to be completely gone over, replacing some minor parts or some minor faults in the engines, clean them completely up. And then the engine bay inside completely cleaned out and replacing some old hoses. That's why the tank is left in the state that it is right now. Our Chieftain Mark X restoration, a complete restoration, a great runner. This is actually did 2 tours in Berlin with the Berlin Brigade. We called it Scabby. As you can see, that's our internal nickname for it because of the condition of the paint. It was getting completely stripped down. So really it's an external restoration on this vehicle. The internals are fine. We had teams in here every 48 hours working on it, and now it sits here dark, quiet, and alone. So here we have our LAV3. You saw the videos just before Christmas. I have a great team working on it, including those who served on it. One of the, Mitch McFarland, served in Afghanistan on the vehicle. It was completely getting torn out in the interior to get cleaned up. We had to repair the driver's seat, account for all the kit and kind of clean it up. They had just got it all out. Vehicle's still running and we didn't disable the vehicle, but all the internals are pulled out, as you can see here. The wheel chain kits, the camo net, everything that you would have inside of the vehicle. And just sitting here beside the vehicle waiting for our team to come back after the shutdown and get to work on this, because this is going to be one of the vehicles we really want to highlight in tank season 2021 and pay tribute to our veterans who served in Afghanistan. So here you're having a good look at the Military Vehicle Conservation Center as it sits when our team, one of the largest volunteer teams in the region, 140 on strength, we laid down our tools at the shutdown, and all these vehicles and all these projects, they sit here, waiting for things to slightly reopen due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So our videos are going to continue to come out. We have a lot of videos on these projects that we haven't released. Please continue to follow the page, subscribe, and if there was ever a time to, put the wagons around your local museum and support, this is the time to do it so that we can get boots back on the ground and get running, get tank season 2021 as soon as the pandemic or the worst of the pandemic is over. So if you can, please click the link below, make a donation, visit the gift shop, subscribe, hit like and share. Thanks for following. We'll talk to you soon.